Hello, hello, and good morning to those of you who are joining me live. My name is Joshua Harrell, and this is Travel Marketeering Live. So excited to be here, and thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me from, and whenever you're joining me from. So you could be watching this on demand. That's okay. That's okay. In the chat, wherever you are right now, if you are live, come say hello. I'd love to know where you're watching from. What might be on your agenda today after Travel Marketeering Live, right? I mean, let's be real. This is the most important thing we've got going on today, right? All right. Well, if you are new to the show, Travel Marketeering is all about marketing and selling your travel products and services through systems. Because as busy entrepreneurs, you have other things to do than marketing, right? But if you don't do the marketing, you might not have those things to do in the future, right? So, we talk about systems a lot and dive deep into topics that will help you refine your brand strategies, not just what looks pretty, how to build a website, how to do emails, not just those things. We talk about sales, sales strategy, and we also talk about service delivery because that makes the universe of brand, right? And I love being universal, right? If you are new, I would like to invite you to join our members only Facebook group. If you go over to Facebook and you search for Travel Marketeers, not Travel Marketeering, Travel Marketeers, because this is the group for the Travel Marketeers, then you'll find our group. Asked to join, and we will let you in. We are a very inclusive group of travel marketeers, and we would love to have you join us. Today, I dropped in a handout for basically the key takeaways for the day, for today's session. And I wanted to put that in. I want to see what you think about that because I'm not a fan of the PowerPoint guys. I'm just not. So I would rather just talk to you a little bit. But I know you're feverishly taking notes, or you might be doing something else right now, like watching your children do gymnastics, or I don't know. You could be doing anything right now. So I wanted to make sure you had some of the key takeaways of what I'm going to talk about today. But today I'm going to be talking about designing packages that captivate and sell. So it's definitely on the sales strategy front. This is definitely your brand strategy that we're diving into here. We're I'm gonna unpack this topic. If you are someone who currently is fantastic at creating custom packages or at least presenting them that way through your marketing that allows you to crush it in your lead generation, then I love to hear that in the chat. If not, we're going to talk about a lot of things that I think you will find super applicable to what you do every single day. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I find working with thousands of agency owners and advisors, there's things that I see, a constant objections or roadblocks that I always like to share here because I do believe that success leaves clues, and I am a professional clue picker upper and sharer. So I am going to share away, and I'd love to share be vulnerable, share some of your roadblocks that maybe they're just mental roadblocks, right? So, we're going to talk about how to design packages with the products that you sell, the products that you want to sell, that makes it a unique offer from you and helps you stand out. Okay. So, I think that's a fun topic. If you love it, you know what? Let's, oops, where are my emotion? But, give me some emotions. Wherever you're watching from, there's a way for you to send me emotions, and that lets me know that you're there outside of the chat. So I am going to pop over to the chat, and I think I have a message from Anthony still up there, so I'm gonna get rid of that because Anthony might not even be here. But I see Christine is here. Howdy, Christine, and a big old TM to you. Glad that you are here. Um, Oh, let's see. Karen says, unfortunately, I have to miss today because I am at a trunk or treat event and I'm representing my own agency at this event. That is exciting, Karen. I love that. You know what? I have not heard the term trunk or treat. I guess this is the season for a little trunk and treating. I love it. I hope you're having a great time. Oh, Rocky is joining us. Woot woot and a TM back at you. Curtis. Oh, good to see you, Curtis. TM, back at you. Kathy, hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. So, Rocky, I asked at the top of the show, what is on your agenda after you do some travel marketeering? And he's going to continue to do it. He said, I am going to keep working on my social media posts. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Joy, hello from Central PA. I am so excited. I'm new to WorldVia, and this is my first session. Well, Joy, I normally can speak a little more coherently. Joy, welcome to World Via Travel Network. So glad that you are a part of us. And I think you're going to find so many resources within our network. And in Travel Marketeers, we're not exclusive to World Via Travel Network. You could belong to another host agency, you could be completely independent, or I think you'd be surprised. We have some worldwide suppliers represented in the audience as well. So, hi, suppliers. We love you. We love you. So, Joy, welcome. You're going to have a great time. And I love my Pennsylvania family. I used to go when I worked for QVC for 20 years. I would fly Atlanta to Philly all the time, go out to Westchester, and then my partner, his family is from Allentown. So, yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania. Let's see. Christine said on her agenda today, I'm going to do some spring cleaning and listening to travel marketeering. I love it. Uh, let's see. It's Robin from Robin Wing Travel in New Hampshire. Good to see you, Robin. Um, oh, Curtis is doing what travel professionals do best, joining from my flight home that had to change from the Disney Dream. I hope you had a magical voyage on the Disney Dream. Oh, and here's our I wanted to say master of member development or director of member development over at WorldVia Travel Network, our Erica Scanelli, TM and Ahaya from Ahaya. Hi, it's not, what is wrong with me today? I cannot speak. Haya from New Jersey. You like did some fun things there. And I'm flubbing it completely. Robin said she's crafting and sending thank you cards from clients. Robin, I need to give you, let's see, where's my yeah girl? Where did she go? There she
Yeah,
is.
girl.
That's fantastic. I'm even gonna give you some applause there because guys, if you are not sending little thank you notes, little thinking of you notes, they are so inexpensive and massive impact, massive impact. And a little tip, I've shared this before, and Robin, maybe you're doing this already. If I am speaking to a client, somebody, maybe they're not a client yet, maybe we're just in that, hey, how you doing stage, right? If I have their address, then when I finish that conversation, I write a little handwritten note, put it in the mail. The mail takes a little while to get there. So it's like a little delayed follow up. Massive, massive impact. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Christine said, wait, I don't see the handout. So, Christine, it's in the Travel Marketeers Facebook group. It's the very last post I just put up there a couple hours before. If not, if you don't see it, then I can email it to you, and I'll also put it in the show description when we get done. But I put it in the private members group, so hopefully you can find it. Let's see, Brandon. Good to see you, Brandon. Hello from windy Miami Beach. Oh, to be in Miami Beach right now, I would love that. Let's see, Jennifer. Hey there from I'm gonna say that's Southwest Florida. Is that Southwest Florida? I've never seen that abbreviated that way. But Jennifer, TM, glad that you're here. Kristen, hello everyone. Kristen, you were at our forums not this week, last week. I heard you had a good time. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us here. Let's see. Oh, and Anthony did join us, a TM for one of our brand ambassadors. I love it. Anthony, thank you for joining. Little news to share from Robin. Just did an FIT custom to Scotland and Ireland. You know what? Robin, are you just trying to get all the kudos this week? I think you are. I think you are. For those of you who don't know, FIT is when it's a fully independent travel. I think there's a couple of different definitions, but fully independent travel. So it is not, you can take some packages, but you're customizing many, many steps along the way. So you can take a cruise, and even though that could be all inclusive, it has everything you need. Maybe you add some pre, maybe you add some post. That starts to make it FIT. It's not just the package that you're buying or selling to your clients. Let's see. Anthony said, flying back home from being on Disney Dream for a few days with fellow WorldVia agents. I guess you were there. You're doing the same flighting. Wow, I need to restart today. Flying as Curtis. Good to see you. And I love it. I love the chat continuing to go here. I am going to pop off that though because I know you guys want to get down to business. Now, as always with Travel Marketeering Live, you can ask questions, you can talk to the group wherever you're watching this from, because the one thing about travel marketeers, you know what? They don't stay quiet. They have opinions, they have thoughts, and I love them for that. So today, we're going to talk. Many of you join because you want to talk about marketing, you want to talk about branding, you want to talk about all the ways that you can touch your clients. And if you've joined the Travel Marketeer Camp, we talk a lot about your buyer personas. What are you going to sell? What is your niche? If you haven't decided on your niche and you're testing out a few things, that's okay. But you have to figure out which partners you're going to work with, because truly, the riches are in the niches. People, it's notoriously said, but the riches, in my opinion, really come from aligning with key partners that not only are you focused on selling, but you're also developing a relationship with those partners. So even as a host agency, our members can sell hundreds of different suppliers, but there is a small group, I'd say about 70 suppliers that we feel represent the bulk of travel. So what we do is we develop those relationships with those partners. We find opportunities for our advisors to win, give them those advantages. And we ask those partners to really partner with our advisors to develop their business. Hey, the most of the account managers who support our advisors are called BDMs, business development managers. That is not customer support representative. That is not their role, although they do customer support, but their role for their company is to develop their business. So they do want to work with you and come up with strategies that fit your business, and help you better align with their products. So we all know being in the travel space, it is incredibly competitive. It's competitive against partners. It is competitive with advisors to advisors, agencies to agencies. It's extremely competitive. In fact, I now I'm going to completely mess this up, but a study, and it's a study from someone that we all know, and I'm drawing a blank on it, but being a travel advisor has become one of the fastest growing jobs in the country. I think that's amazing because Years ago, a few years ago, that was not the case. That was not the case. So you're people are finding extreme opportunity and success with being a travel advisor or an agency owner. And that's going to continue to that's going to continue to grow and evolve. And I'm so excited to be a part of an industry that is growing, aren't you? I mean, let's get
Yeah, girl.
for that, right? So it's extremely competitive, and many advisors are working with the same partners. So you're asking me, Joshua, how can I be different from the agency down the road, or even if you're in Alabama and they're in California, but you're selling the same types of products? Well, the first thing I always say, and if anybody can beat me to the punch, drop it in the chat now, but there's one thing that I always say that is the key to differentiation, and it's something you don't really have to try for. Let's see if anybody beats me to it. Maybe it's a lot to type, but there is only one you in this galaxy. So when you bring your whole self in as a brand, that's your differentiator. Okay, you don't have to be wearing sequins and throwing I don't know, dancing ribbons. You don't have to be that big of a personality. You don't have to be that, but you do have to be you. Or you don't have to be you. You can try to be somebody else, but let's face it, that is inauthentic. It's hard to keep up. It's a lot more work. And being a travel advisor is it's not easy. It takes a lot of brain power. So I just say I truly believe this. I truly believe this that as long as you bring what is unique about you, your personality, you infuse that into your business. And if you're a part of an agency and there's already a brand that exists, um, you can still infuse your personality. You can marry your personality to the brand and ensure that when clients are working with you, that you're delivering your personality. That's what they want. Everyone wants to work with a real human being and not a robot. Okay. So I'm gonna always say that. That's always gonna be my answer, that you are enough to differentiate yourself at your core. But then when we start to sell the same products, what does that how yes, my personality might be different from Christine in Texas, right? Christine and I have very different personalities, but maybe we wanna sell the same exact thing. Well, it's gonna be our approach, and that's still personality, right? It's gonna be our attention to detail. She might be she might be able to convey confidence, to her clients that she's got all the details covered. Maybe I do it in a different way. Maybe I do it through documentation. God, that sounded boring, didn't it? But we've all got our different styles, and that is attractive. You find your tribe that way when someone knows that they want to work with somebody that operates in a very specific way. That they're going to be like, okay, I'm this is my travel advisor. I want to work with them. But I want to talk about how you can design irresistible travel packages. Doesn't that sound like a really big promise? Doesn't that sound exciting? Yeah, it does, because I guarantee you, and I'm going to go back to my experience in working with so many different agency owners and advisors, that most advisors do not think about developing these irresistible travel packages. They might think of it from a brand perspective. As an agency, I want to come off this way, right? So that's how I'm gonna be irresistible. Me as a brand, I'm gonna be irresistible. But then when you present that package, say it's truly a package that you went to a tour operator and got, here is the package, right? We present that package. Well, if Christine and I are doing the same package, how can we win? How can one of us win? I'm gonna crush you, Christine. I'm gonna crush you. Now, she might win, maybe. I'm just saying. Now that I'm giving her the secrets. I love this. Kristen just dropped in the chat. She said, "Hey, I love documentation." And Kristen, I love that for you, because that just knowing you, I know that that's a part of your brand, and that would make me feel super confident, especially if I am doing something, that I perceive to be uber complicated. So, all these cues, they really, really do help. But let's talk about what makes a package truly irresistible. And you've seen this. This is not I'm not gonna say something and you're like, "Oh my gosh, that is mind blowing. I've never thought about that." You've seen this, and maybe you haven't done this, but you've seen it done through your partners. So, the unique themes, unique themes. When I think of unique themes, I think of. I'm sorry, I just saw Christine's comment. She said, "Spill all the secrets. I'm listening." I love it. I love it. So unique themes. The one that I think of, the supplier that I think of that has been crushing it with this is Ama Waterways. Waterways has their themed cruises. They've got them themed around wine. They've got them themed around music. Uh, Avalon. I'm picking two river cruises. I don't know. That's I've got River Cruise on the mind, right? But, Avalon has, their storytellers where they've got authors, that are gonna do the voyage with, their fans, and I love that. So those are themes, but, there you can create themes as well. It doesn't have to be that affinity, group situation. It can be that you have crafted an itinerary. Maybe you're partnering with the supplier. Maybe you do have a group, and that makes it much easier to create those themes. Or it's just taking an itinerary and knowing who your clients are and shaping that itinerary. You're not changing the itinerary. You're not rebranding the name of that itinerary. You're just packaging it up from a storytelling perspective to be a theme that your clients or a segment of your clients would love. Also, I would say even packaging up an itinerary around a theme that's very close to you personally. If you're known for something, if it's something in particular, and this itinerary is allowing people to step into that something, then take that itinerary, package it up from your marketing, from your storytelling, from your social media, from your emails, from your blog, package it up so that becomes a no-brainer. I want to buy an experience, not just get to sail on the hardware and go visit some ports. Now you've given me a story to jump into. Rocky just added, "This is my whole business model." Rocky, you can be my co-professor here. You can be my co-professor. Right? I love it, I love it. Oh, I was worried that you guys wanted to get into Canva and do stuff in Canva, and I really wanted to move into sales strategies. So, yay! I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so, what's another way to make a package irresistible? You can provide exclusive access. Now, in some situations, that is already built into the itinerary that a tour operator or a cruise line has put together, right? They've got maybe you're getting the behind the scenes tour of the Guinness factory. I always use that as an example because if you've been to Dublin, that is a main that is a tourist spot. You need to go to the Guinness factory, and there is the basic way to do it, and then there's a small group tour that gets to go to a private little pub, and you get to hear the story. You're not, like, in the crowd, you're not in a shopping mall environment, and then you get to learn how to pull Guinness. I wanna say it was called pull, it's been a while, but you get to pour the Guinness, and you get a certificate at the end. Okay, what's gonna be more exclusive feeling, doing a private tour like that, or just getting your ticket and going through the museum and doing all the things, right? I just use that as an example. There are so many different types of examples for exclusive access, and sometimes that's built in, like I said, to the tour, to the, experience that you're getting from the supplier. But sometimes you need to go out and get those things to plus up the experience. We'll talk a little bit about that. And all in all, tailored experiences. Now, what I love about tailored experiences, I don't like to go anywhere. Many of you know I am terrible at vacations. I'm absolutely terrible at vacations, but I love like work trips. I know that's going to sound terrible. I love work trips. Why do I love work trips? Because everything is laid out for me. I have to be up at this time to be at the thing here, and then we got to go here, and then we're going to transfer here. I love jumping into a schedule and basically being told what to do, all right? I do not try to dissect that and do not try to find out why that might be a thing for me. It just is a thing, okay? But I have done some of those trips, like a work trip like that, and I've been in wonderful places, and I have so many travel advisors that I get to work with, and when they find out I'm doing something, they're like, "Oh, I know you're going for work, but you need to do this. You need to go and get the hot chocolate here, blah 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 blah. You got to get the what was it? There were buns that I needed to get somewhere in England, and that became a thing, right? Um, but what I loved about that, now that wasn't some a travel advisor that didn't put that together for me, that wasn't a part of the itinerary. But what I loved about that and something you can do with your clients is you can, if you have personal experience or maybe you've crowdsourced some ideas from your peers, right? You can put together a list of must do's that that couple or that individual or that family that's going on a trip, yes, they've got the itinerary. They know where they're going to be and when. Maybe they've got a tour guide, but now they have something that only you could give them. And that was the must do in maybe all the stops or a few stops. So even that, even just infusing a little bit of that, and you might do that in conversation, but do you add that to their travel documents? Have you tried it? Doing that again makes something that might already be packaged with a supplier, it will just plus it. Christine, if you do that, you and you give these little personal notes of what you can do, and if it's a family, what maybe you want a must do for the kids and a must do for the adults. I'm just saying that right there is something no one else can duplicate. So that is a very easy thing to infuse into something that you're selling to your clients already. And it can also be a part of how you promote those products, right? You talk about some of those things, that becomes some of the content that you're sharing when you're promoting that particular product. Oh, you share some of those must do's. Yes. Could somebody else who's not working with you steal that? Yes, they can, right? But guess what? Stop worrying about people stealing your ideas. Make sure people know what they're going to get from you before they buy, right? You share a few tips, that's not everything. You're sharing with them what they can expect. And that is a beautiful thing, and it will pay dividends, okay? But making these packages, and packaging how you, how the value that you bring to the equation, that right there is the thing that you become known for, and people start to spread the word for you, even if they haven't traveled with you. They start to see that this is who you are, and that hands down is going to be a magnet to get customers to buy from you. Notice what I'm not saying about this, I'm not saying discount, discount. I'm not saying give them a gift card. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying showcase the value and make sure that the value is understood. Okay. Now, something I love, love, love to do when I'm putting together a marketing program is I love to get trends. I love to get trends. I like to take travel trends. I like to figure out, okay, if this is a trend right now, how can I get on board with that? But not only how can I get on board with that, how can I take that trend information and plus it? How can I make it my own? Right? Yes, this is what so and so says is hot right now. How can I take that demand that's already out there, and how can I use that to my advantage? So I'll give you an example. Uh, the Expedia Tap, they send out an email. I wanna say it's quarterly. I'm not sure if it's quarterly or monthly. It might be monthly, where they say, "Here's the top 10 destinations," based on their platform, for they do one for domestic and they do one for international, okay? And you're thinking, so what? That's, either people buying direct or agents using the TAP program, but think about it. They have access to all the searches. People are using Expedia all the time. They know what the motivators are, or what people are searching for right now. They know what people are buying right now, better than if you got 20 travel advisors in a room and said, "Hey, what inquiries are coming in right now?" Yes, you're gonna get some thoughts there, but here is data from thousands and thousands of users of their sites. So I love to take information like that, and you get the same information from an ALGV, Delta Vacations. There's many sources you can get this information from. But what I'd love to do is say, okay, am I doing anything around these destinations? Anything? If not, maybe I mean, could I? Is it within my wheelhouse? Is it within what I wanna sell? I'm not looking to branch out to a completely different destination that does not fit my customer base or my interest. I don't wanna do that, but I wanna look for things that maybe I haven't thought of, right? Um, those are great ways to just get inspiration. And you know what? You can even use that in your marketing. You can say, that, Italy is the number 1 international destination. So this month, I'm gonna share everything I know about Italy and also share some amazing itineraries that, I have put together that I think would interest you, right? So I'm almost doing a little bit of, social proof. I'm saying, "Oh, other people like Italy. Maybe you do too? Maybe? Yeah? Okay, let's go on this journey together, and you know who you're gonna book with because, I'm taking you on this journey, this exploration of Italy, so you can find out where you wanna go? You're gonna book with me. You're gonna book with me. And if you go and try to do it on your own, that's fine too. I wanna get you to Italy. I want you to go to Italy. But I'm gonna say you're gonna have a better time if you go with me, because fear of missing out is a real thing. And I'm gonna share some of the things that I put together for Italy and some of the must do things that I think you should do. Okay, so in talking about how creating these irresistible packages, I'm not getting into piecing together different pieces of travel, which is phenomenal. That's the definition of FIT, right? That's the definite finding unique experiences and putting them all together. I'm not building a package from scratch. I'm not becoming a tour operator by customizing all the components, but I'm taking some package travel or itineraries that that already exist and I'm putting the Joshua on it. I am putting me in the in packaging this up and how I present it to my audience and my future audience. So this is something Christine, I'm just gonna keep on picking on you, my friend out there in Texas, right? So Christine and I could sell the same or attempt to sell the same packaged product, right? Or the same itinerary on an AMA Waterways cruise. The way that we package it up for our audience, the things that we call out, maybe some of the pluses that we add, maybe it's the must do things, or maybe we arrange some special excursion experiences. That's getting into some other details, but I'm just saying the way that we present this to the audience, same product, different buyers and different gravitational pull. And controlling that gravitational pull or creating that gravitational pull is going to be your it's going to be your power play. It's going to absolutely be your power play. Um, let's see. Diana's got a question here. Diana, sorry. Um, so Diana said, as a brand new advisor that has never done anything like this before, where is the best place to start a promotion? So Diana, I'm not sure what you might mean here because the best place to start a promotion, are you saying where do I get my idea, my inspiration? Or are you saying, type of travel to get started? I would say you need to start with what do I wanna sell and, what kind of products I have available to me? And with those products I have available to me, how can before I just take an image from a supplier's media site and put it out on social media, how can I make that product, that package my own? And it can be the stories I wrap up around it. It could be some must do things that I'm going to add to it. It is the way I frame up that experience. Maybe this itinerary is something that is really good for World War II buffs. Okay, I'm just grabbing ideas on the spot here. Um, how can I take an itinerary that is this, and this place, and how can I put that twist on it because I know I have those customers? That's where I would start in terms of a promotion. Of course, you've got partner promotions where they've got discounts or value adds. Love all those things, and you take advantage of those things definitely. But when you start to focus on price, you can also lose on price. So I always believe you've got to wrap your value around anything you're selling, big or small. It doesn't matter. If you are doing the smallest of the like a 3-day cruise to the Caribbean, right? It's the smallest thing. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna infuse my value. I'm gonna wrap my value around that, or I'm gonna go home. It's just not gonna be, it's not worth it to me to be an order taker where I'm just promoting the product that the supplier has. I have to be able to promote myself, my agency, my brand promise, and deliver an awesome experience, right? So I don't care if it's inexpensive. That's not an issue. But you bought it from me not just because I could do the transaction, but because I could add value to perceive value to the experience. So I hope that helps. I want to give you an idea, just a story here. I've changed the name to protect the innocent, but I've got a story of someone wrapping up the story, wrapping up the product with a story. So I've got Mia, a savvy advisor. I am reading notes, so forgive me. Built a Florence food tour by tapping into her clients' love for hands-on experiences. Now, I want to say this. I'm saying her clients' love for hands-on experience, and she might have one couple that she knows loves this. Or this is what she's known for, these types of hands-on experiences. So when I'm saying her clients love for hands-on experiences, I'm not just saying onesies. I'm saying this is a message, this is a stream, this is a group of people that she is targeting. So sorry, I needed to define that a little bit. So she featured truffle hunting, pasta making with a Michelin chef and wine tasting, naming it Florence for Foodies. Okay. Florence for Foodies. So she's framing the offer with a vivid story. And this is the story: roll fresh pasta with with an Italian chef. Okay? That's that's the story, right? She's this is a tour that already exists, and someone like Colette has probably already named it something fun, right? But she's taking it and making it her own, and she's getting the message to hit spot on with what she knows her clients or her audience would be interested in. So, roll fresh pasta with an Italian chef, doesn't that is not go to Italy, right? It is an experience that she's selling. And what do we know about millennials in particular? Okay. Gen X is also in there. And of course, there's people across multiple generations. But we know millennials in particular are looking for experiences first. So she's not selling Italy, she's selling the experience. That right there is gold, okay? So, a little story about Mia. Again, her name has been, hidden. She doubled her bookings, okay? This, her clients chose this offer over plain Italy tours because it felt personal and exclusive. Now, a note here is that Mia, I'm gonna do quotes, Mia used an off-the-shelf, package from a tour operator. And the tour operator has some of these same stories. They've got all the marketing around this. Even the name of the tour had some elements, but she wanted one clear message. She wanted one clear visual cue that she know would resonate with her clients and also her brand. Okay, and That's how she does pretty much. Like all of her content is about these experiences. So she knew her followers, and I say followers, and I'm talking audience. I'm not just thinking of social media followers. I'm thinking about her audience, her email list. She knows that that will resonate with them. So this, guys, I want you to be here with me. I want you to understand that it doesn't matter how a supplier partner has themed these experiences. They have brilliant program managers, product managers that put these things together, and they've got marketing teams that support it. I love all of it. But me and Christine have access to the same exact assets, the same exact product descriptions. How can I crush Christine, or how can she crush me? Is by infusing what she knows about her audience, about her brand, to make those products her own. And that's gonna help you win on a 3-day Carnival cruise to a 30-day tour of Europe, okay? It's all in how you make the products fit your clients and make it easy for them to see that they're right for them, okay? So it takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of work, but guys, I'm not even talking about creating whole mini websites or a 7 email campaign. Sorry, a 7 email campaign. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about before you get started, figure out what you want to sell and how you can sell it, because you are the differentiator. You are what makes the whole thing unique. Okay. All right. What I would hope is right now, while your wheels are turning, I would love to say in the chat with each other. okay? Because I want to keep on trucking here. But in the chat with each other, I would love for you to take a product that you're looking at right now, let's say a tour product, or it could be a cruise itinerary. Take one of those and just list it like it's a 7-day river cruise through France. I don't know, something. Um, Put something in there and then give us your take on that. Just drop that in the chat and you guys look at it and compare notes, okay? Because I want you to be thinking like this right now. I want because this makes a difference. Now, I always talk about Disney. I always talk about Disney destinations and their vacation packages. The reason why I talk about them is because I got a love for Disney castles, and it's all over my office. So anybody who's been to my office knows it's all over the place. But I also work with our Spark Society, who sell a lot of Disney destinations. Now, there are stories galore. Disney creates so many stories around everything. But even those types of products that already have so many layers to their stories, they already have a way to sell them. There is a way for you to infuse your your style into those experiences, those products. And that is going to stand out with your clients and your future clients. So always be thinking of something that you can add to the mix, to the way that you present something. Um, let's see. I've got one chat here I'm gonna grab from Jennifer. Let's see here. Jennifer said, "Could I, as a special needs and autistic travel professional, use my son in my marketing for special needs on my social media posts? Always go to Disney with him." I love this. Okay. Let's unpack this. Okay. You're talking about you as a brand, okay? And using is terrible. I don't wanna say using, but featuring your son, so you can express, this is what I do. We travel as a family. My son is autistic or special needs, and I wanna show you what we do together. That is beautiful, and I would highly recommend that you do that as long as he feels comfortable with it, you feel comfortable with it. I think that's a beautiful thing because so many people are are scared to travel with anyone with special needs because they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be such a nightmare." Oh, all the unknowns, right? So you making that a part of your brand and your brand story, that is going to not only attract your tribe, your customers to you, but it's also going to help a lot of people as well. So not to be altruistic, but I'm just saying that right there, you could have a massive impact and influence a lot of people positively by doing that. It's not the same as what we're talking about with uh, creating irresistible packages. What it would do, though, is if you are taking these products and you're making them into irresistible packages, your base story, your base brand story that people have been able to follow along, whether it's in your blog, whether it's in emails, whether it's in social media or all the different places, that when you build one of these irresistible packages through pulling products together and experiences together, when you do that, I'm going to listen differently. If that is me, if that is my family, and we have a special needs family member, right? What you put together now, and again, create that irresistible package, that irresistible vibe, but your voice in that is different from me. And if I did the same exact package or trip, um, if I did the same thing, it's not gonna hit the same, and it's not gonna hit that audience, the same. So, I love it, and I'm really glad that you asked the question because the things that make you unique, the things that are your consistent brand story, or your constant brand story, those things all add to your brand strategy. This is really getting down to that product strategy and how you can create these irresistible packages. So, all right, if you guys, I don't see a lot going on in the chat with these options. So, grab an itinerary, grab a destination, grab just any kind of a tour experience, and then figure out how you can make that your own by adding your own story to it. So let's talk about um, how to work with. So in some tour operators, you have set pricing, and in some, you have the ability to add on different products, or not add on products. You can add you can add some additional fees in there. You can kind of buffer it a little bit. I getting it messing with the pricing from a supplier, I don't wanna get into that, but I would really love to talk about, um, how you can take the products off the shelf and, and find ways to accentuate the value of the experience in ways that maybe even the tour operator, is not doing or the cruise line is not doing. So let's be honest, all of our suppliers have, like I said, beautiful marketing. They've got the copy, the story to go along with everything. They highlight here's what's included. Sometimes here's what's not, just to make that clear. But you can even if that is fully defined by the supplier, let's be honest, most travelers, customers are not looking at those details. They're gonna be very, time a destination, time, and price focused, okay? They're what's the best price? And many of them have not ever traveled, or done that particular experience before, so they don't have a base understanding of what something costs. So, they're gonna approach it the same way they approach buying a car, buying a TV, right? I wanna buy this, is this the best price possible, right? And as advisors, we get into those situations where we're looking for the best price possible. And by all means, please do. And you're the one that can navigate that. You're the one that knows what things should cost, what the trends are. So I love that. Okay. Please continue to do that. But don't get caught up in just the price story. You need to highlight some of the benefits. And many people don't understand what some of the things that our supplier partners list are included in those experiences. Free Wi-Fi. Well, guess what? I believe I should have free Wi-Fi. Like that's a right as a human being. Let's be honest. I do. I believe that. So you're saying free Wi-Fi? Well, of course it should be included. That seems like you'll have running water in the bathroom, right? Okay, free Wi-Fi. What does Wi-Fi cost on a ship if it's not if it wasn't included? Sometimes you need to call that out, okay? The drink package is included. Maybe that's a part of a special promotion. Now, a lot of them already say, here's the value. But if I've never cruised before or I've had very limited cruising experience, you need to tell me why that's important. And telling me why that's important helps me understand your role in how we're working together, right? You are the guide. You truly are the guide. I find it funny. I don't find it funny. That's like not like funny, haha. That's kind of. I find it interesting that there's so much anxiety, especially for newer advisors. There's so much anxiety around, well, I don't know everything there is to know about. I'm going to use a ship, right? This icon of the seas. I've never been on it before. I don't know everything about it. And what if my customers ask me, how many cabins are on the ship? Well, obviously you can find that answer, but it strikes me interesting because I guarantee you, you know more just by being in the travel industry than most of your clients or future clients. So don't be scared. If you don't know the answer, you can always say, "You know what? I've never been asked that question before. Let me find out. Let me get back to you." Right? That's okay because guess what? You know where to go and get that information. So you are the professional here, and don't forget it. Right? That's a position of power. So navigating through, what all's included and really highlighting that, if you know that your clients or your audience really love uh, uh, fine dining, and maybe this particular package includes some fine dining experiences, right? Make that the thing you lead with. It could be a part of the package, it could be part of the promotion, that's all well and good, but maybe you need to tell a little bit of a story around the restaurant that, your clients get to experience. Don't expect them to know. You're the one who knows what their preferences are and how to package it up and present it in in a way that it really stands out. Let's with all of our supplier partners, they're trying to reach thousands of travelers. So they're telling a very broad story. Now, of course, those niche cruises, like I was the storyteller cruises I was talking about, they know that they're going after a very small segment of their audience. That's wonderful. So that's a little more specific in its marketing message. But for the most part, a lot of the promotions are like OBCs or onboard credits, of this. I How many of your clients actually know what an onboard credit will get them and why it's important? Yeah, they probably don't. Just don't assume. And I'm gonna go back to Disney. So the things, I'm gonna mess it up, but the things, like Fast Pass, or it's not Genie Plus, I can't, whatever it's is that's on the app where you can do the rides and you can kind of make an appointment for the ride so you can skip the line. Christine probably knows the answer to this and I don't. But I went to Disneyland recently and I had the works. I'm gonna call it the works. I don't think it's called the works. I had the works, and I had all the emails that said I had the works. When I got into the park, I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, "Where's the thing where I get to book the reservations?" I was so lost. So, I did not use this perk that I had because I couldn't even figure out, I didn't even know the name of it, obviously, and I couldn't find it. Right there, if a travel advisor, and a advisor did not help me with this trip, but if a travel advisor had booked this trip for me, them telling me, "Hey, you upgraded and we already got all this, sorted out for you. Just so you know, sometimes the app is a little confusing. I have a friend, Joshua, who can't ever figure it out when he's going anywhere. I wanna make sure you know how to do it." Send them some screenshots. I'm sure there's plenty of, online demos, which I probably now, after saying this, I should have looked up for online demos for it. But I'm just saying, those types of things are the ways that you can add value, and highlight the value within the package or the overall price of what they bought. Don't be afraid to make those things stand out because you are the professional. You are the professional. Um, so there's another thing that you can do that this may be a secret. I don't know. It might not be a secret, but I'm going to share it anyway. So you have these tour operators with with a fixed price. Okay, this package costs this, and that's it. Okay, so let's just, there's no creativity here, from the supplier partner. It is what it is. So how can you do something to add value to this, to package it up, to make it more beautiful? Well, I love I love this tip. It takes more work on your part, so you've gotta figure out, is it worth the effort? So when you start to do extra work and there's not extra commission involved, is it worth it? And you have to make that decision, right? Because your time is valuable. But something you can do, everything is hard coded. There's no wiggle room. There's no upgraded experiences that you can add. I'm just trying to put a lot of restrictions on it so you can understand where I'm going with this. So you cannot upgrade this experience at all. You can, though, you could reach out to the hotel, especially if it's a hotel that you've worked with in the past. That's the power of partnership. You could always reach out to the hotel and you can say, "I've got a really special client coming, and and is there anything that we can do to just add a little umph to the experience? Is there anything?" Okay, what's the worst thing that they could say? No, there isn't. You can pay for XYZ. Okay, and maybe you do. Maybe it's $25 to put chocolate covered strawberries in the room, and maybe that makes sense to you financially. That's an investment in their experience, and that's okay. But what you might find, little trade secret here, is you might find that there's some perks to staying at the hotel that nobody really takes advantage of. Maybe the hotel does a poor job of promoting it, but you're connecting with that person in that hotel, and they're like, "I want to help you out, Joshua. So I'm going to tell you about something that we have." So just a half a block down our street, there is a beautiful tea shop, and they do, for our visitors, for our guests, they do a high tea experience for free. And you're like, "For free? Really?" Well, the tea place feels that if they do this high tea experience with the little sandwiches and the little pastries and things like that, that people from the guests that are staying at this very nice hotel will buy tea. So they're using it as a marketing tool for themselves. But the hotel could leverage it as this experience that's only for their guests. Now, you don't need to. You could use that experience and say, "Hey, I've arranged for you to have high tea because you've got this break in your time, with whatever the itinerary is." And it's a half a block down the street from your hotel. It's walkable. It's a lovely walk, and it's a beautiful shop. So this high tea is at this time. Go. They've got your name, and they'll take care of you. You have just taken something that there's no cost to you. It is something that is mutually beneficial, right? You get to showcase something unique that you're to your clients. It's a service you've provided. You got a hookup now with the hotel that can always come in handy if anything comes up, and the client gets to have an experience that they weren't anticipating. So this there's lots of things like this that you can do. Maybe there's even maybe there's a lot of history. I'm gonna just use the hotel example. Maybe there's a lot of history for this hotel, and maybe every day at 12:30, they do a walking tour. Now, it's free, but your client doesn't know about it. And again, maybe the hotel does a poor job of communicating it. But think about your client saying, "Wow, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know that I'd be interested, but grandma and grandpa would love to because they're all about that kind of stuff," right? If they don't do it, no big deal, but you just added value to something that had a fixed cost. It did not cost anything outside of your time. And anytime you make a connection with a hotel, maybe you've never booked at that hotel before, and you don't know if you're going to do it ever again, that goes into your VIP file. Those people are the ones that you want to have a direct connection with because they can really help you out. They're an extension of you. And if you've made that connection, and keep them sweet, send thank you notes, and depending on what they do, you might want to send a little gift their way, but keep them sweet because you never know what you might be able to do that is something that only you can do because of your network of travel people around the globe. So Connie just jumped in and she said, "We just had a conversation at Forums, which is a event that we have at WorldVia that just happened a few weeks ago in South Florida." So she said, had a conversation about connecting with the hotel concierge for things like this. Absolutely, absolutely. It's sometimes it's that first reach out that you do, and Zach over at the San Francisco Marriott, downtown Marriott. Zach, uh, lists all these things, and you're like, "Wow, those all sound really cool," right? So when Zach does it, when you have that experience with Zach, now the door is wide open for you to contact hotel people, cruise directors, when you name it. There are so many different people that you can touch base with. You know now somebody else could have that same amount of experiences that they can offer, or some might not have anything at all, and you learned something through that interaction. But the thing is, you know what people are capable of. And I'm just gonna tell you, if you've never done it before, some of these hotels have a laundry list of things that you can do to add value that's a part of they've got team members responsible for that engagement. Even on some of the cruise ships, especially like a river cruise ship, if there's a focus on wellness, when your clients get on board, you can have a 30-minute consultation with their, their fitness wellness person, right? And that's something that's promoted when you get on the ship. Well, if you know it exists and you can go ahead and schedule an appointment or connect the client with that fitness person before they even get on board, now you've given them VIP access, and it was 100% free. The only thing you spent was your effort. So I want you to think about ways that you can get creative. Another thing you can do is upsell, right? There's always ways to upsell, and many of them are the ones that you know, that are pretty obvious. So, things like, an upgraded experience, an upgraded room category or cabin category, spa appointments, going ahead and pre-booking spa appointments. There's loads of ways to upsell, but there's also things, that I think are missed opportunities. Once you put together your proposal, you get your client to say, "Yes, I wanna do that." Um, and they purchase the trip, and now you're ready to start doing the pre-trip, planning and getting everything together for them. I think there's a missed opportunity in terms of, what you can upsell after the purchase. So we always say, and Erica, she's a big proponent of this. Velma on our team, big proponent of this. When you are putting together your proposals, you go ahead and offer the insurance in the proposal because you want to ensure that you have offered the insurance. But instead of kind of asking them after the fact, you just put it all in and line item it out so they can see what it costs, all of that, all the details, right? They're more likely to buy if you go ahead and bring it in before they make their purchase. However, there's still an opportunity to offer insurance after they made the purchase. And sometimes, more often than not, that is a time when the initial purchase decision, I've already passed that stage, and it was a big purchase for me, right? So at the time, I was like, "Let me just," as a customer, "let me just get through that point," right? Like, once I'm there and once I've made the purchase, I'm good. Now, after I made the purchase, you can also offer that insurance to me to protect that big investment, right? So I might be, well, if I haven't already accepted the insurance before we finalized everything, then I'm probably thinking about what a big investment that was, and what if something happens, right? What if something goes wrong? and I'm not able to travel, right? That or finish the experience, right? That's a time that you can upsell the insurance. Now, is insurance adding value to the overall vacation? No, it's not. It's not. It's just it makes good sense. I cannot tell you some of the experiences I've heard that insurance has saved the day and turned what could have been a ruined vacation into pretty fantastic vacation just because that was there. So, you guys know the importance of offering insurance. This is not an insurance class, but the power in making as much money as possible, and not leaving opportunity on the table, it's there. So, the making sure that you're thinking about ways that you can upsell, but also thinking about how your upsells are adding value. Insurance is adding value to the experience. It's not well, I know I feel like I'm talking against myself here because I'm like, it's not really gonna make or break the vacation," but yeah, it kinda does. But it's not the thing that, I think of in terms of these are the things that I'm looking forward to on my trip. The insurance is not. But I got that out of the way. The thing that I would say that you can do is you can take, an itinerary, put it all together, and you can find some gaps in the experiences. Maybe somebody's got like 10 hours with nothing on except for just being at the hotel or being in the city, and there's no tour booked, or there's no nice dinner or lunch experience booked, right? So there's some opportunity to come back and layer in some value to the whole entire experience. So this is where you can take the things that you know about your clients. Maybe you haven't known them very long. Maybe this is the first trip you've done with them, but through the back and forth, you've learned a lot about your clients. So if you know that they love museums and they love history, go and find some VIP experiences touring different museums or historical landmarks. Some of those things are very inexpensive, but those are things that I probably, as the client, would want to do when I got there and I was thinking about it. So go and do like a flying visit over the entire trip and see where there are places that you can add value. I've got another story, so it's a quick one, but it is one again. I've protected the names of the clients and the advisor, but Lisa's client Tom booked Costa Rica, but skipped the zip line. So she messaged him, and every when you talk about Costa Rica, everybody talks about the zip line, right? So she messaged after the fact and said, "Would you like to add the sunset zip line?" Which sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Like, just zip line doesn't sound as exciting as just adding that one word sunset in there. So it's like the number one experience, and so she just casually layered that in, and he agreed. So, the client, that's now an upsell. It's added to the overall trip cost, right? But the timing for Lisa to add that in was perfect. He had already ticked the box. He's going to Costa Rica, and she knew that he liked that kind of adrenaline rush type of experience, and that the coming in before, he's leaving and saying, "Hey, you we didn't do this. It is the number one attraction. I know you like these things." That personalization and the timing of it was perfect. Sure, I wanna add that on. He probably would wanna add it on when he got there, and maybe he couldn't even get in. So, you're able to this is not about packaging in terms of selling on the front end, it's more of how can you just continue to build this experience and also build the overall trip from financially, also from an experience standpoint, right? So there are so many things that you can do to really add to a travel experience And it's not even about building a custom package. It's about, well, I guess in a way, if I'm adding something like that in, I am building a package, but I didn't build Joshua's trip to Costa Rica and here's the price of it, and I didn't bundle it in that way. And you can definitely do those types of things, and that's what many advisors do. They actually build these custom experiences, and they work it up into one price, make it very easy for their clients to grab on and say, "Hey, I want to do this thing." So that's definitely a path to success, creating truly those custom packages that only you could put together. But what I really wanted to showcase here is, yes, those things are available to you, and please do that. That makes it very easy for you to differentiate your product offering. But there's also ways to take the things right off the shelf and customize it and turn it into an an irresistible experience and something that they must do with you. Now, the final thing that I want to share with you, sorry, my face is itching, is how to motivate your clients to act fast with urgency and exclusivity. Okay. So there are ways that you can do this, whether it is the promotional pricing. You've got access to so many different promotional pricing opportunities with different partners and different itineraries, things like that. But those things do have a limited time only, right? So those are things that you can call out. You don't need everything can't be last call, last call. Everything can't be last call. But if there is a deadline on when things need to be booked, call that out. So guys, everybody who books this cruise before Friday, if you book this cruise with me before Friday, I'm able to get you a $250 OBC, right? That is massive. Now, if I just said I can get you a $250 OBC, then okay, that's great. Maybe I'll think about it. But if you say by Friday, not don't even put the date. Like don't say by October what was 24th, right? If you book, you need to put that in the fine print, right? But calling out, "Hey, if we book this by Friday," and maybe this is just a one-to-one communication, maybe it's not your formal like social media or email marketing campaign, but you've targeted a few clients that you know you that are ready to buy or could be ready to buy if they had a little nudge, right? That just saying, "Hey, by Friday," means, "Uh-oh, Suzanne, we need to call Christine because if we'll get an added benefit." So calling that out extremely important when you have put together a group sailing or even a tour opportunity that maybe you're leading the tour. Um, Something else that is a part of, you've put it together, you're putting this trip together, but you have limited spots available. So when you go on sale or when you start promoting the opportunity, that's great. But when it's getting down to the last little bit, limited spots only. Please let me know if you want to if you want to join me on this trip. That kind of language, that kind of sense of urgency, it makes a huge, huge difference. It's a scarcity message. And there are people who need to be pushed a little bit, just a little bit. Just push them right into working with you. Sometimes you need to use that language. Don't use it all the time. If you use scarcity message all the time, it loses its power. You've got to pick and choose. Truly, don't make up that you've got limited spaces available if you don't. That'd be saying like there's limited spaces on Icon of the Sea, the largest ship in that's sailing the ocean, right? The largest cruise ship that's sailing the ocean. Uh, Now, maybe a cabin category that you have or a special pricing that you have because you put together a group, that now makes sense, right? But it's got to make sense and you've got to use it wisely, right? But that's a part of really packaging up what you're offering to your clients and giving them a heads up that this thing is really popular. That's that social proof that a lot of people need to say, "Oh, other people like this, maybe I will too." So, you wanna take advantage of that, include that in it depends on what the product is, how you're positioning it, but if it's something that you've opened up to the world, then social media, email posts, make it a part of your story. Have that sense of urgency. If it is something that you have a select group of clients um, that you're targeting, then a one-to-one message, even if it's one that you do and you cut and paste it and drop it into a few emails to send out to your clients, that if it's something that you're doing one to one, that is extremely effective. So it's like, "Hey, Beth, I know you and I were talking about this a few weeks ago. I that OBC offer that I have, there's so many cool excursions that you can apply that to if that's applicable. Um, I don't know, spa packages, things like that, right? There's things that I know you'd wanna do. So if you wanna take advantage of this offer, it lasts this Friday. If I can get you deposited, we're good to go. We can take advantage of that. So let me know. That could even be a text message too. Again, sense of urgency, use that in how you present your products, to ensure at the end of the day, you want to close the deal, okay? So you want to invite the sale, you wanna make it happen, all right? Uh, let's see. Oh, here's something. I have another story. Again, I'm protecting the innocent here. We have an advisor, and she sells small group safaris. So she announced a flash deal. So book by Friday and get a sunset cruise, only 8 spots. Okay, so she updated her website with a live countdown and posted 3 spots left updates, and then the promotion sold out. So the urgency and scarcity, oh, ooh, I didn't mean to knock the camera like that, drove her clients to take action. Now, in this situation, what did she do? There was the clock was ticking, right? Book by Friday. She has arranged with the company, the supplier, to offer a sunset cruise to package that up, and there's only 8 spots, and that actually might be 8 spots for the entire cruise, like, this could be, um she's got 8 spots total, right? But what I love about this story is I know what Jasmine did. So this is a safari company that is known for the personal touches. So she has worked with them for many, many years, actually. So she reached out to her account manager and she said, "Hey, I want to do a trip. I want to do it essentially a group, right? Where everybody's going to be traveling at the same time. Is there anything that we can do to, to help me win my clients? Is there anything you can do?" I said, "We." "Anything you can do to help?" And they have this, an upgrade for the safari with the, Sunset Cruise. So they said, "Your business is that important to me. I, we're gonna add that to the package. So it's something that only you get to offer. Maybe they do it with other advisors throughout the year, but for this particular trip, they're offering it to her as a part of the package deal. They want your partners want to work with you, especially the not small transactions, but the not the mass suppliers, right? They have the flexibility to work with you. We have one of our account managers, Wendy, who is with Azamara, and she told me many years ago. She said, "The thing that I hate the most when I'm talking to an advisor," and I'm like, "Ooh, what are you going to say, Wendy?" She said, "The thing that I hate the most is when I see an advisor out, out and about at an event, and they say, 'I almost had a client travel with you, with Azamara. And when she hears that, it just makes her skin crawl because if you have somebody, thinking about it, considering it, a brand like Azamara, their team is small but mighty, and they wanna be involved. They will help you. Maybe they'll get on a call with you and your client to help close the deal because they wanna help you win. That's money in everyone's pocket, right? So they'll jump on and help you, but if you never tap them in, you never know what they could do. And I think that is the power of partnership, that I think is underutilized by many, many advisors. So don't be like that. Get in there and take advantage of the relationships you have. And I want to go back to Jasmine and her safari and the sunset tour or cruise. If you notice, and I didn't call this out here specifically, but I'll let you know, she didn't change the price. She didn't. There was no discount. It was, if you book by Friday, you're gonna also get a sunset cruise, and there's only 8 spots available. So there, the partner was kicking that or throwing that in, and they weren't changing the price. So it wasn't, save 10% by booking on Friday. You got you got an expanded and upgraded experience if you book by Friday. So there's lots of ways to package these things together. I just want you to think about all the levers that you can pull that will truly help you before you even get to marketing and putting social media messages out and landing pages or updating your website. Before you even go there, who do you want to sell? What do you want to sell? And how do you want to sell it? These are decisions. This is research. These are decisions that you can make, that if you figure all of that out, then the marketing of all and the promoting of all of those products becomes much, much easier and helps you win even before you start to have a conversation with your clients. So I hope you found that to be super helpful. I hope it's got the wheels turning. Rocky, I know you said you've already got this down. This is your business model. This is exactly what you do. But I hope you got some little nuggets. So if you do me a favor, those of you joining me live, drop in the chat if there's anything from what we discussed today that you're going to apply in the next 7 days. You can have some long term things, but I love when we have these travel marketing sessions and there's something that you're going to research, you're going to do in the next 7 days to move your business forward. So drop that in the chat. I'm going to do a little wrap up here, so I'd love to see again, what will you do with this information in the next 7 days? And I'll read those out in just a moment. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me live, or if you're watching it on demand, wherever you're watching this, if you can give a thumbs up, a heart, a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you know someone who would benefit from these types of conversations around travel marketing, please send it their way. We have a very small community, but we've got a lot of room to invite more people in to be travel marketeers. And what I love about that is it's not only the live sessions, but it's also that Facebook group. I'll put that up here. That Facebook group is a great place for you to go where you can throw in an idea. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about working with Globus on putting together something like this. Have you done this? How have you marketed it? Are there any things that you wish you had done differently in marketing it? All of that stuff, those kind of conversations are welcome there. It's also a great place to go if you just want to share a win or two or three or four. All right. Well, it looks like Erica has said, "Hey, a TM to offering insurance in the proposal." Yes, I felt like me talking about doing it after the fact is saying that's a better way to do it. No, offering insurance in the proposal is number one. If they've turned it down, hit them back up. Don't let that be the last time. Hit them back up after you've closed the deal because sometimes people's opinions change or thoughts change, and you don't wanna miss out on that, and it's just it makes sense. It always freaks me out that people will spend tens of thousands of dollars on a vacation and there's no insurance. I just would not do it. All right. It is now time. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And yeah, let's keep on being the supporters of travel marketeering and creating those systems to help us effectively market and sell our products and services. All right. I am Joshua Harrell signing off. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you real soon. Take care, guys. Bye.